My, I don't know if I can do this. Put my engineer on the spot right now. Andre was telling me something it brought tears to my eyes out of joy, and something that he's realized and was sharing it with his wife, and she didn't get a clue. Uh, and so, Andre, are you able to share it with the folks?
I'll try.
You'll try, okay. Try. He's going to try.
Okay, but ask me questions.
Okay,
That's how I'll...
so you're talking to your wife
Yes.
about this discovery that came upon you
Yes.
of this other world, this other, the invisible became visible.
Yes, we were basically talking about resentment, and all of a sudden I realized that what we see in the world, basically what we see is not actually what is there. There's something behind everything that drives it
Yes.
and controls it, and
what we see with our physical eyes is really not reality.
Exactly. It's not reality. It's reality because our mind can only define it in the way that we see it.
Yeah.
Our mind sees it the way it's used to seeing it. The color black is just color black that we see it, but the color black in a different eyes might not be that color that you see it. You're
Yes.
only used to seeing the way you're seeing it. But behind everything, there's something totally different. While we're living and going through life, there is another world that resides with us.
Yes.
And is present with us. And that's that spiritual world that Jesse's been talking about, that he says that the invisible becomes visible.
Yes.
You can't touch it, you can't see it, you can't smell it, you can't feel it, but you know for a fact that there's something there. And since you know for a fact that something's there, but it's invisible, but yet it's not invisible because you know it's there. So it has to be that there is another world going on in the same world that you're in.
Yes. And so you're sitting there talking to your wife, and this was revealed to you?
Yes.
And so what was it like to just see that?
I was just opening my mouth and closing, and I had no idea what I was talking about, to be honest with you. But
Yeah.
I was coming up with all these stuff, and she said, "You're going into philosophy, basically." But it was so real to me, and I could almost imagine it how it would look like in my head.
And then you said that, and you're right about it, that if people can see this invisible world, if it was made visible to them,
Yes.
all this stuff that people are fighting about,
Nothing would matter.
taking so seriously, the stuff they trip out on,
It doesn't exist.
it wouldn't, right, because
It
you can
does
see
not
that it's
exist.
not real.
Yep, it is not real, because behind everything there is something much more beautiful and much more better than what you can only see with your physical eyes.
Yes. And when we see things with our physical eyes, we're really seeing in the darkness and not by the light within.
Yes. Yes.
You mentioned Jesus. You can understand better now
Yes.
what he was talking about, what he meant.
I understand Jesus now better because I understand that he was special because he was of both worlds. He would hear and see and sense beyond what we can, because he would see both worlds happening at the same time. So
Yes.
he would see your physical, but yet he would see what was behind of you, what was going on behind the scenes, behind,
That's right.
pulling the strings of how you're acting and how you are. So that's why resentment for him was not a problem, because he didn't even look at your physical body. I think that
Right.
he wouldn't even care how your physical looked like, because he would see what was actually behind that.
That's amazing, boy. That is absolutely amazing.
And it is amazing to me too, because I would not even imagine to realize something like this ever in my life. And all of a sudden, I'm just sitting there talking to my wife because of some problems, resentment issues and hatred and forgiveness. And all of a sudden, I go into this subject I'm not ever familiar with. But it's so clear to me that almost I can picture it in my head how it would have looked like if people would just see in a different way, in that way that that you have been talking about, that spiritual way, behind the scenes.
And Jesus talked about the invisible becoming visible, and that's why he said that we should look within, because there is another reality. There's another
Yeah.
world within us, but it's spiritual, and you can only see it with your spiritual eyes, not with your physical.
It is a
But
total different world.
the interesting thing,
100%.
though, he has to cause that to happen. God
Yeah.
has to give, nothing can bring it to you. It has to be given to you.
Yes, out of the blue. When you're not expecting it, it just clicks. Just like that.
Amazing stuff, boy. You're a blessed man.
Thank
Well,
you.
you're 20, right? 22?
23.
23 now?
Yeah.
When was your birthday?
February 11th.
Are you serious? Oh, my God.
I kept it secret.
Oh, you sound like Patrick Rooney. Happy birthday, man. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Mr. President. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Andre.
Thank you, sir.
You're now 23 years old.
Yep.
You're older than dirt.
I am older than dirt.
And you kept your birthday a secret.
I did because I didn't want anyone to know and sing for me and stuff.
You remind me of Patrick Rooney. He does that. He think that's cute to do that. He try to keep his little birthday a secret so that we don't sing happy birthday to him either.
Yeah.
Well, if I was his age, I would keep it a secret too, though. Oh, man. Well, happy birthday.
Thank you, though. Yeah.
Yeah,
thank you very
Kelly
much. I
said happy
appreciate it.
birthday, too, I
Thank
think.
you, Kelly.
Yeah,
Thank you,
Kelly.
everyone. Thank you.
One last thing about what you were telling me. So you're sitting here having this conversation with your wife,
Yes.
and all of a sudden, this other reality came upon you.
It kicks in from nowhere, and I'm living in a different. I'm there, present physically, and I'm opening my mouth, babbling about this, but I'm not even believing the things that are coming out of my mouth. To be honest with you,
I understand.
So that's why when I told you, and I brought the example of. I needed someone to bear witness to it.
Yes.
So that's why when I told you and you gave that stamp of approval, and I gave the example of just like how a father would tell his son that he's on the right track.
Yeah.
It's another reinforcement.
I thought it was interesting, too, how you said that you've heard me say this about this other spiritual
Yes.
world, but you've heard it over and over again, but it meant nothing.
It meant nothing.
It just went in one ear and out the other because you
Yes.
had no clue of what I was talking about.
Exactly. But now it means a total different thing.
And
It
that's-
is revealed, basically.
It was revealed to you.
Yes.
Now you clearly see what I'm talking about.
Exactly. I see what you're talking about.
Man.
And again, I love the point that you make, that you say that no one can make it happen, because if you and anyone could have made it happen, people would have just woken up. It's just given, I guess.
It is.
It's all of a sudden when you're least expected, you're hit with this huge realization, and it just washes you away, basically.
God decides.
In a good way.
God decides who he's going to give it to.
Yeah.
You can't make it happen on your own.
Yeah.
You
I
can't
believe
learn
that.
it. It has to be given to you.
Yes.
Well, man, what a nice birthday present.
Thank you.
All right, folks, thank you for tuning in and calling in. Absolutely appreciate it. That spiritual world that Andre is talking about, everybody has it, but you got to let God give it to you. All right? I'll be back tomorrow. Have a good day.